Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Leonard. Welcome to the Changemakers platform. I am so honored to have with me here Robyn Graham. Robyn will explain to us her journey so far and what she has been doing. She's an amazing woman that has chosen to take a path, a disciplined path, which not everyone would have chosen, and to be here today. And I cannot wait to hear all of the stories about how far she has gone. She has walked the journey to be here today. Welcome, Robyn.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm honored to be here. It's a pleasure.
Robyn, can you please explain to our audience what you're doing now?
Yes, absolutely. So now I have multiple things that I'm doing. I'm a multi passionate woman. And what my primary focus is now is empowering women to not only identify the second phase of their career, but to launch personal brands or build personal brands and launch businesses with a strong foundation for long term success. And I want to help them alleviate that overwhelm and stress that so often comes with number one, becoming an entrepreneur, but number two, navigating this new environment that it can be so chaotic with all of the messages that we see and hear out in the world, of the tools that we should be using, the funnels we should be building, and all of those things that really aren't necessary to set yourself up for success, but teach them and mentor them and coach them through all those challenges so that they can really relax and embrace their new future.
Yeah, thank you so much. And can you please explain some of the struggles that these women go through before you can just mention them, you don't need to explain all of them, before they meet you and how you're able to transform their lives through your coaching program?
Sure. So oftentimes people come to me because they have started a business, or maybe they're still in the wanting to start a business phase, but they don't know what they don't know, and they don't know where to begin. And so they're trying all these things, they're doing all these things that they see other people doing, but they aren't getting results. And most of that revolves around a lack of clarity, especially related to their messaging. So they're not reaching their ideal audience. A lot of times people have not identified clearly who their ideal audience is. So the messages they're putting out into the world are not resonating with the people that they really want to work with, or the people that they've been called to serve, the people that they can actually solve a problem for. Those are the biggest things. A lot of times entrepreneurs don't have a huge budget to
Mm-hmm.
start with, because many, especially female entrepreneurs, they're doing this bootstrapping. They don't want to take out a loan. They don't want to build a business
Right,
by, borrowing money.
right,
And it's also harder for women to get funding to start a business. So, they want to do this or need to do this in the most economically efficient way. And
mhm,
so I help them do that by really navigating what tools you need, where you're going to be able to find your ideal audience, and what messages that you can use as the base or the core of your messaging so that you can actually reach those people.
right, right. That's really good. And what does it look like when they finish? For instance, how long does it take them to, does this program takes? And what does it look like at the end of the program for them? I know that maybe they would have received the tools and everything. If there is anything major that you notice after one of your clients took this whole session of the program, coaching program with you, what was it like for them at the end of the program?
I can s I have a couple of different ways that people can work with me. So one is a 6-month coaching program,
Okay.
and
Okay.
that is where we sometimes meet every week, we sometimes meet every other week. It depends on how many action items they have to
Okay.
do and how much time they think they're going to need.
Right.
But throughout those weeks, if we're not meeting, I'm still available to them during business hours by email. So they can
Right.
still reach out to me, and I can still help them with any questions that they have. At the end of that 6 months time frame, they're a lot more confident. They know who their ideal audience is. They know how to blog so that they they have search engine optimization for each blog post. The pages on their website have search engine optimization so people can actually find them from a Google search. I work with them on email marketing campaigns,
Mhm.
how to establish that, what tools or systems to use so that they can do that to start for
Right,
free.
right,
Setting up automations, I teach all
right,
that. And then Pinterest marketing, we talk a lot about social media and how to set up business accounts. A lot of mindset work too around just those thoughts of comparison, imposter syndrome, all of that. So I would say confidence and then having clients at the end of that 6 months is huge,
yeah,
as
it
far
is.
as outcomes go. And then the second way is we actually have I work with a team of contractors and we build websites, graphic, do logo design and all of
Mm-hmm.
that as well, and write copy. So if we do that program, we can launch a website and have the logo and everything from a brand identity perspective
Right.
ready to go in like 3 months, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
4 months,
Mm-hmm.
depending on how much time the person has to dedicate to all of the reviews and revisions and all of that.
Right,
And then they still get me for a couple more months from a coaching perspective.
right,
So anything that is, a loose end as far as where their confidence level is, what they still need to work on, from a marketing perspective, really,
right,
really
right.
building out that blueprint for
Mm-hmm.
a strategy for brand marketing.
Right, right. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. And I like it when you mention the mindset work. This is real. Mindset is everything. Maybe not totally, but it takes the huge path of everything, and it's always evolving. When you
Mhm.
need to scale, sometimes you experience a form of fear, a form of a little bit of imposter syndrome, a little bit of that. But then how do you counter, how do you overcome it? It's you position your mindset appropriately, training your mindset the right way. Or so, but thank you so much. Now take us back to the journey.
Oh
Can you
gosh.
please? I
I
don't know. You can share any information you would like to share with us, but just take us to how it began, how you've transitioned or evolved, in your career.
Okay, so the one thing I would like to say really
Mhm,
fast before I do that is that when we were talking about mindset and what you
mhm.
just said was so beautiful and it is so very important. But what I like to remind people is that mindset is so important. But even if you have a positive mindset, but you're sitting on the couch watching Lifetime all day, every day, you're not going to get anywhere. So you really need mindset and strategy
That's
and
right.
action. The
Yeah.
three go hand in
Right.
hand.
Right.
Um, so as and those really have all three been a huge part, a very integral part of my journey to where I am today. So I grew up in a very small town in Southern Illinois, and I did not want to stay in that little town. There just wasn't a lot of opportunity. I wanted a really high power career. I wanted to wear a suit every day. So I went to pharmacy school.
Oh.
I never wanted to practice traditional pharmacy and work in a Walgreens or CVS or something like that. I wanted to do something, um, I don't want to say more meaningful, but something a little more strategically based, right?
Yeah.
So I went into hospital pharmacy, and from there, I went into more of consulting roles, including in managed care. And so
Wow.
I ended up getting a doctorate degree in pharmacy. And then 10 years ago, our life with our children was just really getting very busy and somewhat challenging. We were both traveling and we didn't have family where we live near Philadelphia. And so I my husband and I just decided that I was going to follow my passion, which was photography. And I
Wow.
became a professional photographer and very quickly started focusing only on headshots and branding photography. And that led me to so many opportunities, meeting people who were in the corporate world, maybe who wanted to start something new but didn't know how, or they were afraid to leave the security of corporate, different things like that. But also, working with people on branding photography, they knew they needed pictures, but they didn't know how to use them. They didn't have a strategy for using them. They didn't know how they could help them with SEO for their website and so many different things. And so I saw an opportunity where I could really help people, women, build that confidence within their business by just teaching them how to be present on social media, how to create a strategy for putting their message out into the world and becoming the face of their business. And so I studied and studied and researched and branding and all of these things. And I got a couple of certifications. And through that, I decided that, where I could be the most value to people is offering these coaching programs where I
Yeah.
help them from the ground up. That's not to say people who want to rebrand don't come to me. They do,
Mm-hmm.
and we work very well together. But I love to work with both those people who are just starting out, as well as those people who just haven't reached that point of success, and they're hustling hard every single day, and they're just not getting to the point they want to be at. They're not reaching their goals. They're not
Right.
achieving their dreams. And
Mm-hmm.
to me, giving them that confidence and the skills and the tools to do that is just the most rewarding thing.
Yeah. That was a brave decisions you've made in your career and your journey. And it's so wonderful that you are teaching people, helping people to also make courageous decision, because a lot of us are afraid to make a move. A lot of us are afraid of change, of trying new things. And what do you get to lose from trying something new? Try. And we need to be open to making mistakes. It's about perception. It's a part, a way of learning of how something you try doesn't work, or ways to know which one will work. And we need to get past the limit. Thank you so much for making yourself available by walking through this path and making those brave decisions. Now, how can people reach out to you?
They can find me on my website. It's therobyngraham.com. It's www.the Robin ROBY and Graham GRAHAM.com. And if you go to the website, there's a resource page, and I highly encourage people to check that out. There's a really fun personal branding quiz to see how much you
Wow,
know about building a personal brand,
that's right.
as well as a lot of other free resources, ebooks that I've created to help people. So I encourage people to check that out because it's a lot of free resources. And then I also have a podcast, the Second Phase podcast, where we talk all about personal branding and life strategies for success.
Right. Thank you so much. That's exciting. All of those free resources, those are gifts. You don't, because sometimes people don't utilize the free ebook that someone has put together. When you research on the internet, there are so many resources and it can get overwhelming. You
Mhm.
trying to streamline it. But if someone have done that and you need branding, I think it's better you just grab that and make use the best use of it. And thank you so much. I forgot to ask you, do you incorporate daily affirmations, or to get yourself going, to get your mindset and the right way you want to have it?
Yes, I do actually. I have some that are Bible verses, and it really
Okay.
depends on my day. But I start
Right.
every day with a journaling practice with devotions,
Okay.
and so it depends on what I have going on and
Yeah.
whether or not my mindset is in a good place or I've had some of those negative thoughts creep in. What I'm going to work on, but some of the ones, one of my favorite Bible verses is I can do anything through him who gives me
Right. It
strength
strengthens me.
from
Yeah.
yes, from Philippians 4 verse 13. So
Right.
that's one that's kind of on replay all the time. But then a couple that I use and I encourage my coaching clients to use these too is my ideal clients will come to me easily.
Yeah.
My clients will come to me from anywhere at any time,
Right.
just as a reminder that maybe we're having a slow time in our business.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe those discovery calls aren't coming in at the rate that we want them to, but if we stay true to our path
Right.
and we follow our calling, they will come, and they will come easily eventually, but we have to lay
Yeah.
that groundwork, and we have to put ourselves out there and be vulnerable. And
Yeah.
that's, vulnerability, of
Right.
course, is a whole
Right.
nother conversation. And
That's
that's
right.
something that was always a challenge for me,
Mhm.
overcoming perfectionism. And so sometimes I have to tell myself, done is better than perfect. So
Yeah.
there may be a day where
It's
that's
about
my
progressing. Mhm.
yes. And so
Yeah.
sometimes that's an affirmation for me.
Right. Right. Thank you so much for mentioning perfectionism. And Someone once said that it's a form of insecurity, not letting go of things that you would have let go. But that got me thinking deep. But thank you so much for making yourself available in this path for others to learn and also see, and for you to serve people and transform lives. And thank you for coming on this podcast today. I am so happy that you get to share your stories and how you make impact. I hope our audience make the best use of this opportunity, and feel free to reach Robyn. You'll find details in the comment section, description section. And bye for now. I look forward to seeing you the next time.